G'day guys, Duckville here. We are going to have a look at something a little bit different today. I decided to take things a little bit differently for the next couple of replays I'm going to put up. Let me just first apologize for the delay, massive delay in actually getting some videos up. Unfortunately, had a little bit of trouble with the new patch that came out. Obviously, everyone's aware we just got to the next patch, and then we had a short patch afterwards from the 1.1 as well. There were some issues with replays actually, because I had some really cool TLO replays which I was going to do, but unfortunately there was this really weird error where you'd get some crazy little lag coming off when you watch old replays in the new patch. So apparently that was some weird ass bug from Blizzard. Someone thought they'd be a funny little, you know, dick and absolutely screw that up. So I thought that was actually my issue, but turns out it was Blizzard's fault, so all good. But yeah, sorry for the delay on getting some replays out. I'm going to try and get a whole bunch of them cranked out this weekend. But firstly, on the ones we're going to have a look at today, we're going to have a look at one which I've actually picked up off the TeamLiquid.net forums. I'm not really a huge fan of generic TvT siege tank Viking sort of play. Obviously with the patch, given that tanks have been nerfed pretty heavily, people are going to be looking for some new strategies to try out. Now, this particular strategy we're going to see from Saplingg here, sorry, just the players just quickly, is Saplingg, and we have this DCMECTANG guy, I'm going to call him Tang, on Delta Quadrant. So we're going to have a look at something a little bit different from Saplingg. Now, I know this is not... this is in general is a pretty risky build, which he's going to attempt to pull off here, and I also know that it's not a new build. So firstly, all you purists, just calm the hell down, because I know it's not new. It's been around for a while, but no one ever tries to pull it out. So what we're going to be seeing is a Ghost first opening for Terran versus Terran. Now, keep in mind, this is pretty much, as far as I know, this is really a Terran, a TvT only strategy to use. So I have no idea of its viability against the other races, but I'm assuming against Zerg it's pretty useless, and against Protoss it probably won't be as useful either. So the idea of this build, and just before we go on as well, I'm going to do just some basic level analysis. So just be prepared, I might slow the game down just to have a look at a couple of things like we would have seen in the SC school videos that I was doing a little while ago. So generally the actual strategy here is you're going to be getting out a fast Ghost. As we can see, the refinery, I believe that was actually before the racks, so he's got the gas here to get the Ghost Academy pumping. We have a reactor down, and also the Ghost is now coming out. So the goal of this build is to actually get a really it's a really select timing attack out on your Terran opponents. So what you're going to be looking for is to attack while the other player is, as we can see here, while the other player is either taking up to a 1-1-1 build like this, or if they're you know, trying to get their siege tanks out, blah blah blah. So you're trying to exploit that time, and I'm pretty sure it's around about this time here, around about the 5-minute mark. Once you've got that first Ghost out, what you need to do is just go straight in there with the first Ghost. As we can see here, Saplingg actually has a Marine. Another variation of this build is to actually just take a couple of SCVs with you. Actually, that is exactly what he's doing. So the key point of this build is that you're going to use the Ghost to actually... if you have some energy on snipe, obviously you've got 3 uses of snipe, so you can actually hack down the opponents. Now, what we can see here is, I'm just going to slow it down, is the Ghost is doing a massive amount of damage. It does 20 damage against light, so the Marines are going to go straight down. And we can also see that if needed, the Ghost can actually snipe as well. Bam, right there, he's got that guy. Now, as you can see, the opponent is trying to get out of Banshee. Obviously, pretty decently hard counter is to get a Banshee out, just purely because the Banshee does not do... the Ghost Marine does a lot of damage against the very light bio combo. So, as we can see here, it hasn't really paid for itself just yet, I would say, although he does have 7 kills. So we're going to see what happens here when this is a type of counter which I'm really interested in, what he does with the Banshee. But as we can see here, the Ghost is actually just taking out everything that is here. So this has definitely paid for itself at the moment, but we just need to see what Saplingg is actually going to do against that Banshee, because realistically what you want to do is actually get your Ghost in and actually get your Ghost hacking away at the SCVs, because they do a lot of damage there, and as you can see, the SCVs will go down quickly. Now, what we can see is that the Ghost even takes out the Banshee. There was a Marine there which was doing some extra damage as well, but the Banshee just still got taken down by the Ghost. So some nice little micro here by Saplingg. He's maneuvered the Ghost around the base. He's taking out various buildings. He's sniping SCVs. This is exactly what you want to do. So this build isn't particularly... It's not always going to be your early game win, instant win sort of thing. This is primarily focused at actually getting a lot of damage out on the opposing forces that you've got on the map. So taking out a lot of SCVs there, as we saw. He took out, I think that Ghost had like 10 or 12 kills in total, but as you can see, that's really set back the position of Tang here, in that he's actually lost nearly 1,400 worth of resources. He's only just now getting his command center out, and realistically, apart from the Banshee that we saw earlier, which is obviously now dead, the only forces that Tang actually has is these Marines and the Hellion. Now, what we're going to see here is another Banshee actually pops out, and we are going to see another attack here from Saplingg. Is going to try and get the Ghost in front to take out some units. It does take out the all of the Marines there have actually died, and now he's got a second Ghost here, and obviously the Ghosts do a lot of damage, given that the Hellion only has a small amount of life. Hellion goes down, and the Ghosts are going to sit here and just absolutely smash across that starport. Now, as we can see, the other advantage here is that you get a lot of cover from the opponent having to firstly waste resources in either rebuilding SCVs, because the SCVs can die really quickly to snipe, or you are going to spend a lot of time trying to reinforce the base here with getting some reinforcing units out to actually stop the Ghosts that are coming through. Now, the gets a auto turret out, but obviously that is a really terrible position here, and as we can see, the worker count is absolutely getting decimated here by Saplingg. He has just destroyed pretty much every single SCV. There's only 2 left. I have no idea where they are. I think he's got one. Nope, he's only got 2 left. Oh, in the gas, my bad. So these Ghosts have absolutely just ripped apart every single thing here in the base, because he's exploited that timing there. And now, as we can see, Saplingg is free to expand. He's got a turret up to defend against the Banshees if they come across again, and his economy is absolutely powering through. He's got 28 harvesters. This game is pretty much over right here. So this is a really nice build to try. As I said, it is not. It is in a way pretty risky. I would not say you should do this every game and expect to win. We've just seen some nice micro here by Saplingg, and his opponent just had a little bit of trouble keeping his actual units out of trouble, which is the main reason that he lost so much. Goes running around here and kiting the Hellion around. Now this Ghost is just free pretty much to walk around and actually do what he wants, because there's really nothing that Tang guy can do. So he's obviously tried to attack with that Banshee, but that got shot down, I believe, with the turret here. And it looks like Sapling's going to come away with this one, as Tang really has nothing. So it's a nice little build to see you pull out if you're playing in some tournaments, if you're playing against an opponent a couple of times in a row. Maybe chuck this one in your actual list of strategies that you can use. Just the Ghosts are really powerful in the early game if you're going to get them out there and your opponent doesn't actually have any sort of really heavy units at the start. So looking at this from a countering point of view, obviously the Banshee can be a good counter, but as we saw with the support of the Marines, the Banshee is going to get shot down pretty quickly. And I would say obviously the only other counter would be to get out some Marauders and actually just hold your front while you reinforce. But as we can see, if you have enough Ghosts, you can actually snipe away Marauders anyway. So the Tang's trying to be cool here, and he's just floating around his buildings, which is obviously very annoying. And pretty much this game's over, so I'm just going to close it up now, because this is all over Red Rover. Now, So give this one a whack if you want. The build is actually listed on teamliquid.net on the Liquipedia 2 for StarCraft 2. Give it a shot. As I said, it is pretty risky. You're really relying on, firstly, your opponent not going heavy bio. If they're going for a standard sort of Terran build, well, I suppose not these days given the patch, but from previous times, if your opponent's going to go for a 1-1-1 or like trying to get out tanks and Vikings at the start, this can really exploit that timing. So just keep that in mind. I think I've got another replay here from Saplingg, so we'll have another look at that one. And if you guys have any comments or if you have any opinions on how you can perform this build a bit differently at all, please make sure you post in the comments. If you have any replays of you doing it, send them through to me. Even if you have a replay of you failing it, send it through. We'll have a look and we'll see what could be done differently, or if it was just purely a case where your opponent countered it nicely. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll try and link through the next video. Cheers.